seen my painting videos before, then welcome back. If you haven't, then consider giving my channel a subscribe to see more painting videos in the future, where I'll take you behind the scenes with the play-by-play of every brushstroke. In this video, I'm going to be painting this scene of a mountain range in British Columbia, Canada, called the Bugaboos. The tent that you see in this painting is where my good friends Scott and Tiffany Bailey camped on their honeymoon. And I just want to say thank you, Tiffany, for commissioning me to do this painting for Scott and his birthday. And from everything I heard from you guys, it was a big hit and that you loved it. So that makes me really happy. Anyway, let me take you through the process of it. The brushes I'll be using are from the Andrew Tischler landscape set made by Rosemary & Co. And I especially love the Tish daggers that the set comes with. My palette consists of mostly these colors made by Gamblin, starting with quinacridone magenta, yellow ochre, transparent yellow oxide, cadmium yellow light, phthalo green, cobalt teal, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and titanium white. And for the medium, I use Liquid Original. This is going to help improve the flow of the paint and speed up dry time. So on this 15 by 30 canvas, you can see I toned it using burnt sienna first, and then went over that with burnt umber to sketch out my composition. So in the beginning stages, I'm always staying really loose and gestural with the brush strokes, and when I'm looking at my reference, I'm trying to look past all of those fine details at the colors that I see underneath of all of that. So this is sort of a foundation for the layers that'll go over top of it, and I'll have all of that information. I won't cover it all up. I'll have that underneath so that when I go over top of it, you can see some of these colors poking through. At this point on the sky, mountains, and the snow, I'm primarily using only three colors: titanium white, ultramarine blue, and burnt umber. The brighter parts of the clouds are titanium white with just a touch of that cadmium yellow light, and the darker parts are ultramarine blue mixed with a little bit of quinacridone magenta and burnt umber. When I go back over the clouds, I like to use some of that sky color and poke holes through some of those areas where the colors were kind of blending together, and this creates a really subtle edge to the cloud that ends up giving it that kind of wispy character. With clouds, I've found the more subtle you could be, the better. So on those patches of snow, they might look like they're pretty close to titanium white, but they're mixed with ultramarine blue and burnt umber. And definitely on the cooler side, the ultramarine blue side, they have a cool shadowy tone to them that'll end up going over top of with a little bit of brighter highlights where some of the sun is hitting it. Oh no, awkward silence. Oh, here we go. Alright, we're back. You'll see me in this painting moving my brush around all over the place. I'm working in the foreground now, but then I'll stop for a little bit and I'll do a little bit of work on the background. Then I'll work on the clouds. Then, I'll touch the foreground a little bit more. I don't like to stay in one area for too long, because I feel like when I do that, it ends up getting tedious and boring. So I like to get, a little bit detailed here and there in one spot, and then jump over to another area. And I feel like when I do this, the whole painting ends up coming together a little bit better. It ends up looking a little more balanced instead of me putting a ton of detail into one area. I like to spread the love, if you will, spread some of that detail around, but not too much. I don't want detail to be across the entire painting. I still want that selective focus, the areas where I want your eyes to be drawn in. So you can see on the edges of this painting, everything's a little more muted and darker, I want those brighter highlights to be towards the center. I've seen this technique done by some of the old masters where they'll almost have an area of the painting that's black, and it really brings out some of those dynamic ranges that I'm trying to go for. Referencing back to the colors I showed you before the painting started. In the lake, I'm using more of that cobalt teal. I haven't really used that anywhere else in the painting, maybe a little bit in the sky, and I've used it in that glacier that's right in the center of the painting. And in these foreground grasses, that's where I'm using the yellow ochre and a phthalo green mixed with some burnt umber and ultramarine blue in those shadow areas, and then in all those rocks, basically the same colors that you see in the mountain. A painting's not complete until you sign it right. For some reason, I keep signing my paintings with just my first name. I don't really consider myself somebody like Madonna, but until I come up with a cooler signature, my first name is gonna have to do for now. Overall, I had a lot of fun making this painting. The subject matter was perfect. Perfect for the things I'm working on right now, so I couldn't have been happier with that. And it was just one of those paintings that I didn't have to drag myself into the studio to, convince myself to work on it. I was always excited every day to get back in there and do a little bit here and there. Just like in life and painting, if the passion is there, it's going to show through in the finished product. Well, there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Rowan Carey and on Facebook, Artwork by Rowan Carey. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.